Well, let's talk about one more apparent scandal. That's that audio leak. You might have talked about this before, but we want to sort of hear it from you again. That audio leak of what appeared to be a private conversation between you and Bishop David Oyedepo, in which you appeared to have described the elections as a religious war, and which has been seized upon by your critics as an example of you promoting a religious agenda. Did that conversation take place, or was it an outright artificial intelligence fabrication, or somewhere in between?
Charles, whatever you call it, whatever anybody wants to make of it, it's fine with me. All I can tell you is that, Charles, I'm not a religious or tribal bigot.
But you did have the conversation.
No. I just tell you, whatever what they make about it is their business. I've shown you examples, several examples this evening of things that was said about me that is false. For dual citizen, for detention, for treason, for this. So whatever they make it, let me tell you, I am not a religious bigot.
Right.
I'm not a tribal bigot.
But did that conversation
go and
take
look in the history of this country and ask yourself, how many people have been opportune to serve privately and publicly and surrounded themselves around with Nigerians? I've said it before. I was governor of my state for 8 years. My ADC, which I mention every day, who is the closest person to me, is from Kano. They said, I demolished mosque in Onitsha. I made Muslims to carry ID card. My police commissioner was from Kano. He was a Muslim. My ADC is from Kano. He was a Muslim. And I'm asking his people to carry ID card, and I was demolishing where they go to worship. Now I went to celebrate Salah with the people in the mosque in Onitsha.
Yeah, I saw the pictures.
And they said it was me who rebuilt the mosque when it was destroyed under another governor. So I built the mosque, but I was being labeled as the man who demolished it. Where do you start? These things, like I said yesterday, development doesn't know religion or tribal. All these people are saying, let them show me the road they built. Charles, I've never seen a road constructed where only the Muslims are allowed to pass. Like I said, those who are talking about religion in this country, can they show me where Muslims buy bread cheaper? So we can go there and buy the bread. Or show me where Christians buy bread cheaper. They only use this. People only bring issue of religion and tribal because they're not competent. Because they don't want to serve.
Right. So that conversation didn't.
So for me, Charles, let me even assume it happened. Do you think I can just pick a phone and say, religious war? No.
Well, we know there's artificial intelligence that manipulates.
There must have been a conversation.
Yeah.
But
we want to be clear on what you said and what you didn't say.
Charles, even subsequent thing, I was even begging the bishop to help me to ask his people to vote, which is what I was doing for 6 months, begging. I wasn't saying snatch it, kill it, take it, force it. I was even begging, which shows that I continue to look for vote by begging. It shows there's so many things you've tried to do, but everything okay. It's easy to manipulate. Let me tell you, those who have been manipulating people in Nigeria have been doing it, but it's coming to an end because even those that are manipulating are not dying of hunger. So they will soon know who is a religious bigot, a tribal bigot. I am not one. I've just given you an example that I built mosque. To today, no non-Muslim governor have sent more people to Mecca than me.
Right.
They said it when I went to Akka. It was them who I was saying it.
Well, I'm going to assume...
When I do pilgrimage,
right.
I send people to Israel, I send people to Mecca.
I'm going to
because
assume...
I believe
right.
that this is the way to go.
I'm going to assume that you did not say that the election is a religious war, because you haven't answered that question. But if you choose not to answer it, I will assume, based on what you said, that you did not say.
I can never say it's a religious war.
Okay.
Because it's not.
Right. So that clarifies
if there's a conversation, even if, Charles, just like what's happened to me in London, even if I was stopped, you can call it I was stopped or even detained. But to go and say, oh, he committed a crime, he did this,
and he was arrested as a result of it.
There's conversations around the election where a conversation can come and I say, listen, this looks like if these people are trying to do this. But I did not campaign that is a religious war. What for? I'm surrounded by people. If there's anybody where a president and vice worked as brothers, it is me and Daddy. And he knows. And I will always tell him, Daddy, we must pull these people out of poverty. I came to you because you're a young man. For the first time in history of Nigeria, we had a presidential candidate, vice presidential candidate, a party chairman. There were people born after Nigerian independence. I said, with three of us, we must save this country. And he knows my commitment to it. We must do this, we must do this. I can't be doing it with the background of a religious war. They've turned the whole thing into a joke. So what it is now is, what are we going to do to crush this person? What are we going to do to label him this? If it is not to label him tribal bigot, religious bigot, if it's not sticking, maybe we'll find his family, maybe have a love child somewhere, maybe all sorts of things. You know, duplicated identity, everything. Because I've been to the UK about 3 times this year, you know, this issue. So it's all about, oh, let's go to Washington and announce to them that is treason, that is involved in this, involved in that. I'm not desperate to be president of Nigeria. I'm desperate to see Nigeria work. I'm desperate to see a good Nigeria. And I'm saying, for me, and that starts by the process through which people get into office. The process as it is today is not acceptable to me or those who are following me. We want to build a new Nigeria. A new Nigeria cannot be built on faulty ground. It cannot be built with this rascality going on. It will only be built on what I call transparent process. If you want to be called His Excellency, you must come through an excellent way. I, Peter, go and check my background. Go and check who I am. I have never one day given anybody $1 to vote for me. I don't know who is INEC rec in my state. Go and ask him. I never met him. We only spoke once on phone when I asked him to do something. Ask Mahmoud, who is the chairman, whether he's met with me. He was given a job to build a new Nigeria. Go and ask anybody. Charles has served as 8 years as governor. I did not admit one person in the state university. I told them, anybody who didn't pass, don't take him, whether it's coming from me or not. We must start doing things rightly in this country. My mood remains the same. What it is yesterday is what it is today, and not tomorrow. All I want is a Nigeria where Nigerians will be proud to say they are Nigeria, with a security, where we can create jobs for the young ones so they have a means of livelihood, where there's a future they can hope. And it is that future they voted in Daddy and I. And we were prepared, and we are prepared tomorrow. Whatever happens, we remain steadfast. We're not going to go away. I'm not going to go away. Like I told you, I'm not a citizen of any other country. I'm a citizen of Nigeria. I believe in Nigeria, and I've said it. If there's war outside Nigeria, if there's war in Nigeria today, I'm outside, I'll come back here. Because I'm a citizen of here, and I believe in it.
And the Minister of Information recently called for your arrest, accusing you of treason. Do you see any links between your activities lately and any treasonable offenses?
Charles is height of rascality. Height of rascality. That it was even announced in Washington. I committed a treasonable offense, and I'm in Onitsha. And my minister went to announce it in Washington. This is what I'm talking about. We're not talking about waste in governance here. People don't want to understand. The amount it costs Nigeria for him to go and announce that in Washington can fix, I can tell you, I've been in government, can build a block of 6 classrooms in a primary school. I'm sure if you go to his village, there's so many places where children don't even have desk or classroom to go to school. And instead of using that money to go and do it, he used that money to go to Washington to announce of treason of somebody who is in Onitsha. He doesn't need to do that. It is rascality of the highest order. These are the reason why we want a new Nigeria where things will work the way it works in other climes. From there he went to London, announcing the same thing. Well, I'm in Nigeria. He should have come to see me or invite me and say this is the offense. How did we get here? Today, you're moving around with laptop. You are arrested. And labels all sorts of names. This is a place where people are thrown into jail for even making comments. These are places where people, all sorts of things are meted on these people. When people who have stolen billions of country's money, done worse things, are moving around, being celebrated, being used as an example to them.
A lot of the people who are most affected by unemployment are young people, and many of them are part of the obedient movement. What is your message about that?
Which country of our size that you know today is going through what we're going? We have almost 40% unemployment and 65% youth unemployment. When you talk about 1.3 million people being grouped as multidimensional poor, huge percentage of these are young people in their productive age doing nothing without knowing where the next meal will come from. And nobody cares about them. And that's what is happening everywhere. And again, if I try to say something, you will even see where I said, I will start fighting poverty from the north. And people say, oh no, he's insulting people from the north. Even when Nigerian Bureau of Statistics said that out of this 133 million people, 86 million is from the north. And I say that's where we have vast or cultivated land, and I believe that we can make more money from agriculture than we're making from oil. And the only way to put this people out of poverty is to invest in these resources and invest in them in everything. So for me, I feel for them. You got to move the country from consumption to production. And that you start the basic thing is agriculture. And you move it into manufacturing. And then into exports. The country is not doing anything. The country is not producing anything. The population is increasing. You're not doing anything. It's a simple thing. And I can just give you a simple example. In 2012, we're about 162, 2011, we're about 162 million. Our export is about $130 billion. Today, we're already over 200 million. Our export was about 47 billion. So can you imagine, in 2011, we're about 130. In 2021, we're about 47. When our population moved from about 162 to 2010. In 2012, our export was about $145 billion. In 2020, as at that time, we were about 167 million in 2012. In 2022, we are at about 213 million. Our export last year, if I look at Nigerian Bureau of Statistics, is about 26.8 trillion. It's actually about 60 billion. So we couldn't even do half of where we are in 2012. What does it show? You're not doing anything. We have here an average container importation, just using container, not even using the containerized goods. We are now above 1 million. I think it's about, what I read last time, it's about 1.5 million approximately. Charles, several of these, up to 70 or 80%, go back empty. No other country. If you decide today that you have 1.5 million containers coming into Nigeria, and all of them must go back with some form of export, put it on average of about $20,000 per container going back with goods. That's $30 billion. So if, for example, 50% of this goes back empty, you lost $15 billion for a country that needs every dime.
Now let's turn to the President Bola Tinubu, whom, from what I read, you recently visited or were shown on social media to have visited. What are the reasons for that, and what would you say to your followers, the obedience, who might, in a sense, feel betrayed by that move, if it did in fact happen?
Charles, it did not happen. I've never visited him. I didn't. These are one of the things I'm telling you. They've turned the whole thing into a joke. So what it is now is, what are we going to do to crush this person? What are we going to do to label him this? If it is not to label him tribal bigot, religious bigot, if it's not sticking, maybe we'll find his family, maybe have a love child somewhere, maybe all sorts of things. Duplicated identity, everything. Because I've been to the UK about 3 times this year, this issue. So it's all about, let's go to Washington and announce to them that is treason, that is involved in this, involved in that. I did not visit anybody. We remain steadfast in the course we've chosen. And that is to do the right thing. We went into election with a strong faith in the law that was signed by Mr. President, with a strong faith in the statements of Professor Mahmoud, which was said globally, said it in Washington, said it in Chatham House, in places where even other electoral bodies don't come to say anything. He said it all over Nigeria. Even when people doubted it, he said nobody should doubt it. It's going to be this real time. Why do we have to go through that? Just why do we have to? Why is this country built that things must be wasted?
So why do you think he said those things and did something else?
We spent nearly $1 billion for this mess. We could have just saved the money. After all, if the university striking lecturers were giving 400 billion, there wouldn't have been no strike. We would have just asked Mr. President, you're going, please appoint somebody of your choice. You would have saved everybody, the parties that were running around, all those monies people use for campaign and everything, running around, even those who shared money for their primaries, they would have saved all that money, even for the forms, and used it to invest in the two critical areas that is keeping this country underdeveloped: education and health. If we had put 100 billion in primary health care that have just collapsed, and we have the highest infant mortality, surpassing India, that is 1.4 billion people. Nigeria have surpassed India in infant mortality. If we had put 100 billion naira on that, it would have made all the difference. We didn't. We put it in the election. And then we came up with this. And this is not being said by somebody who is uneducated. It's being said by a respected professor. That questions the entire, you see, whenever I talk about that the educational qualification is not a measure of integrity. That's what it should be.
Yeah, but you're suggesting that it was necessarily something that had to do with integrity. They're arguing that it had something to do with technical glitches.
Which technical glitches? You had three elections the same day. The other two went through the same promise you made. The most important election in this country is the election, the presidential election. That's where we have issues. That's where we have our problems. That's what we need to solve. That's where we need competence, capacity, integrity, and everything that is required to move it forward. And that is the only one that you have glitch. Which glitch? Can they explain the glitch? Have they ever explained it to anybody? INEC is still uploading the results till today. Does it make sense? We're not the only country globally. There's hundreds of countries globally. Why must our own be always a problem?
If you don't know, I beg you, know this now. Tinubu is more the cause of your problem that you're going through right now. If you're a Nigerian that is living in Nigeria, Tinubu is more the cause of your problems than all of the witches and wizards and all your village people and the devil combined. Tinubu is more the cause of your problem. And the earlier you know this, the better it will be for you. Why? Because the earlier you know this, the earlier you will find the solution. And when you implement the solution, your problem will be solved. I'll prove it to you that Tinubu is the cause of your problem in this video. In fact, by the time I am done, you will agree with me that there should be a law. There should be a law that we should stop blaming witches and wizards in the village or even the devil for the problems that Nigerians have. We should stop it. Anybody who comes to tell you that, oh, Your business is not moving. You are 40 years, you are not married. You are married for 10 years, no children. You are graduate now for 10 years, no job. In fact, the only jobs that are available, you are doing POS business. Business is not moving. You can't pay your bills. You are sick. You are afraid to go to the hospital because you don't have money to do that. The healthcare system is horrible. They say they have fixed it, but they cannot use it themselves. The politicians now. You want to travel to your village. Problem. You are afraid that you might be kidnapped or that there might be an accident because of bad roads, or that the cost of traveling is simply too expensive, you can't afford it. Whatever the problem you're facing now, anybody that tells you that it is the devil or one altar in your village, that person should be charged to court and prosecuted and sent to jail. By the end of this video, it will be clear. These are the problems you have. You have a lady that is 40, she's not married. And then somehow somebody tells her that her problem is one old woman or one old man in her village that has vowed that over her dead body she will not get married. And somebody will even come and tell you, oh, it's the blood. You see, the grandfather of that lady, he was a very wicked man. He killed many innocent people. Now it is the blood of those people that are crying against the lady. That's why she's 40 years old and she's not married. In fact, this blood one is classic. They even say it's because of the blood, innocent blood that were shed in the civil war of the Igbos and even of the Midwesterns. So it's the innocent blood that are crying out. That is that blood that is responsible for Nigeria not progressing. They forget to tell you that the Europeans and the Americans, they shed 10 times more blood in the First World War, in the Second World War, in the American Civil War, in the French Revolution, Russian Revolution, whatever. They shed more blood. They shed more blood. 10 times more blood than was shed in Nigerian Civil War. And I'm not trying to trivialize the lives that were lost. Far from it. That's not what I'm trying to do. But I'm just trying to put things in perspective. You see, the Americans shed more blood. How come they are still progressing? In fact, they are #1 economy in the world today. How come? In one bomb that they threw in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, they killed over 300,000 people. One. In the Second World War, Hitler was rumored to have killed over 20 million people. Today, Germany is the strongest economy in Europe. Why did the blood of those 20 million people that Hitler killed, why didn't he speak to stop the progress of Germany? The millions of people that the Allied forces, which one is Allied now? Which one is Axis? Okay, Allied is the West. The British, the Americans, the millions of lives that blood that they have shed. How come those blood are not speaking against them? They are still going on to develop even deadlier weapons. And their economy is growing. Their citizens are enjoying. Their country is working. Why? If it is blood that is speaking against the development of a country. Now, let's even forget looking at this thing at country level. At individual level, your business is not moving. Instead of thinking, why is it not working? You now believe somebody that tells you that it is one witch in your village and you need to do fasting and prayer and you need to make some sacrifice. You believe them and you do it. Has your business started moving now? Why is the business not moving? Business is not moving for business people. Business is slowing down in Nigeria. Why? Tinubu's policies. Simple. Many of you pride yourself. You say, oh, I don't want to get involved in politics. I don't want to get involved in politics. Politics will get involved with you. If you like, run. Say your own is entertainment. If you like, run. Say your own is education. Oh, you are a traditional person. You just like to face your own tribe. You are an educationist. You are a media. You are a business person. You just want to face your business. You don't want anything to do with politics. My brother, my sister, government policies are deadlier than any devil, any witches, any wizard can be. The reason why your business is not moving is because of the policies of government that has reduced the purchasing power of people. And so they don't have money to buy. Normally, some of you business people, you refuse to get involved in politics because you feel somehow it not concern you. If things hard, you go just add money for your product or your service, for your goods, you go just increase the money. It not concern you. But now you don't see, say, when you increase the money and people not get money to buy, you go they look your goods go they look you. Abi, now you can't dey complain, say business dey slow. Instead, where you go turn, look, say, why government policy be like this? Where they make my business to slow down. You can't dey believe one person where they tell you, say, now one person for your village, now they responsible. And you know, this thing is very, very painful when you consider that the people that think like this, they are educated, some of them up to doctor level. But today, I'm here to cancel that. Your business can boom if we have a government that has the right policy. Many times you think that we just want to criticize Tinubu for the sake of criticizing him. No. Tinubu represents a group of people that, in my opinion, are being blackmailed to implement policies that will make Nigeria a slave. How will Nigeria be a slave in this 21st century? Anytime Nigeria is a consumption economy, in fact, any consumption economy, go and check it, they are slave economies. They will force you to borrow. Have you forgotten? They say that the borrower is a servant to the lender. So if we are always borrowing, are we not a slave to the people from whom we borrow? They will tell us borrow. And then they will now give us a form of democracy that has been weaponized so that the system is rigged to favor only corrupt people, people that can be manipulated, people that can be blackmailed. And once that system is in place, they will now give you a system that allows for licensed critic. So if we are going to have solution to all of the problems of Nigeria, now to change government too, and the only part to that is to make sure that we force free and fair election on INEC in 2027. Forget all this story where they tell you. Imagine, even Tinubu said they give speech, they talk, say, I am charging you, INEC, to give us free and fair election. I am charging you to maintain the integrity. Even Tinubu said they talk. Even the new INEC chairman, Amukwito, they make promises. They don't talk now, say they want to do one AI-powered tab. AI. You know, when they first come, they go do some gra. More than not, they carried away with all these things when even INEC they talk. Because when Mahmoud first come in 2019, now the thing when he do, he first come, talk saying they bring beavers, and they bring IREV, or they go submit the result. And the first election where they first do, that was Edo election, if you now remember, when I go check. That election, everybody begin hail am. That one night, Obaseki win. Everybody come dey happy, say yes. They defeat incumbent. That time, Obaseki, they for PDP. And then, go. And then Buhari be president. They come say, the thing work well. Wonderful. We don't know, say, that one a preamble. Distraction. Something will go distract us. After that one, what do we see? The election started going down the line under the same Mahmoud Yakubu. Election will be say litigation don't drop to less than 44%. Now, as Mahmoud Yakubu leave, thing don't rise. Litigation don't go 86%. Which means there's really no need for the election. Therefore, just say make court decide who go be the elected officials. Now, Amukwito don't come. They give us Lamba, AI-powered tab, beavers. Now go for. They want test them now. I can guarantee you that in Anambra election, they will give you something that looks like not true. Say Soludo na go win. Then you can say, this new INEC chairman, he try yo, he bring AI power tab. Now see as everything work. Other one waiting. Lamba. Wait until 2027. If we are going to have free and fair elections in Nigeria, we cannot rely solely and only on INEC. We must have our own people-powered solution. We say now we go do and we not need to depend on INEC for it. And we get them. PU Marshal. PU Marshal go check INEC Sha. He go check Tinubu. They don't want to hear them. So they go to make caricature of PU Marshal now. But they go hear them. They don't want to hear them. They must hear them. They must hear them. 2027 they go hear them. So the long and short of when I talk be this. Tinubu is the cause or the source of your problem. Not be witch, not be wizard. Now Tinubu, they do you. And if you want your problem to be solved, whatever the problem is, whether health, marital, relationship, business, spiritual, whatever the problem is, if you want solution, you must make sure, say, Tinubu and APC come out for 2027. And the only way to do that one, because as you see Tinubu and APC, I not think, say, they won't give any chance for free and fair election. They don't say free and fair election, they don't get chance now. All the signs are there saying are rigging, but you see, we get hope. We get solution. The solution are PU Marshal and Vote Watch. And we need you to volunteer. If you are a sincere Nigerian, you are a honest Nigerian, we don't need everybody. The people where they benefit from the corruption under Tinubu, they're not going to want to make the corruption change. They go want to continue to enjoy that corruption so that they go use the corrupt gotten wealth to buy new car, buy new house, oppress you very well. And it's what they want with that. They not care, say, 99% of the populations are suffering. Now only 1% they enjoy. You not consign them. And that 1% plenty. That's like 2 million. Imagine, say, 2 million people, they buy house, they buy car. You will give the illusion, say, people they enjoy now, money they in Nigeria now. But an illusion. 219 million people, they somewhere they suffer. This solution not be for those people. But if you know, say, you be genuine Nigerian, you want me Nigeria really work. You want Nigeria, because many of us now not even know how Nigeria go fit work. We don't even know what it means to say we want a Nigeria that works. A Nigeria that works now, Nigeria will be say impunity all day. You don't need to know any big man before you get justice. You don't need to know any big man before you get work. You don't need to know any big man before you live good life. Now, so you did today. Today now you must know big corrupt politician, either as Olosho or as a political puppet. For you to live a good life, whether you are a business person or whether you are in private or government official, it doesn't matter. All the schools for Abuja, who be the people they pay the big school fees? Who be the people who get money to pay 5 million naira per term for one pikin? If not the person who don't thief government money. So at the end of the day, all of these people no go want talk because they are benefiting from the corruption in the system. You see comedian where they do show, he put table there, 10 million naira. Now, who want pay 10 million naira for one table? Now, people will be say they don't thief government money or that they work for people who don't thief government money. Now, only them, you pay that kind of money. So, you don't go expect those comedians to come make the system change now. You don't go pay them. So this message is not for everybody. But if you did there, you want Nigeria where be say, you don't need to know anybody to get justice. Make everything, make the system they work. We need to show them, say, the government is the people. And you need to volunteer as a polling unit marshal. Now only 600,000 now we need. The link is in the description. I believe very strongly, say 2027, forget. A new Nigeria is possible. You get it? If you don't get it, forget about it.